First up is the hearing that was conducted by the House Government Oversight Subcommittee on Government Operations yesterday. It was chaired by Congressman Mark Meadows, who's one of those heroic congressmen in the House who have been pushing for disclosure and accountability along the lines that Judicial Watch has been seeking on Russiagate and Clinton emails and such. And his hearing was designed to look at the Clinton Foundation and whether or not there's been appropriate oversight of it. And Judicial Watch was honored to be invited. I was honored to testify. I hope you were able to watch the hearing yesterday. You may not have recognized me. I was in a suit and tie, but I was able to testify about all of Judicial Watch's work, or much of it, about the Clinton Foundation. Now, you may not know a lot of this, and I have a feeling a lot of Americans who watched this yesterday didn't know all the details. But Judicial Watch has been examining the Clinton Foundation since essentially day one in terms of the Clinton State Department, because when she first was nominated by Barack Obama as Secretary of State, look, everybody, and not just Judicial Watch, was worried about what Bill Clinton was doing and what the intersection of the Clinton Foundation's activities would be with the Clinton State Department. So to put all those issues to rest, Hillary Clinton and the foundation and their lawyers came up with three memos, three letters saying that, look, there'll be no involvement by Hillary Clinton in Clinton Foundation business while at the State Department, and she'll recuse herself from anything having to do with them. There'll be disclosures of foreign donors and certain restrictions, and they'd have disclosures of contributors, which law didn't require, but which they did anyway because senators were nervous about this, senators in both parties. So Mrs. Clinton's job as Secretary of State, her getting that job and her being confirmed and presented by Barack Obama to the Senate, was contingent on her promises to run an ethical State Department. Now, Judicial Watch, we know about the Clintons' ethics. We didn't buy it. So we monitored and asked to monitor that ethics process. We asked for documents in 2011. We were ignored for 2 years. We sued for them. We uncovered 215 speeches that Bill Clinton gave to foreign governments, foreign fronts, domestic interests as well, that earned him and her $48 million. And the the State Department ethics official rubber stamped all of it. So much for the ethics clearance process that they had promised when she came into office. And then subsequent to that, and by the way, those documents we uncovered became the basis for Clinton Cash, because one of the folks that he gave speeches to, for instance, was a front company or a company associated with Uranium One in Russia. It was a government-oriented Russia government-controlled company called Renaissance Capital, and it's been linked to the Uranium One effort. And so since then, and as a result of those documents and other things they were able to find, our friends Peter Schweitzer of Clinton Cash fame was able to connect more dots and note that there were millions of dollars coming in from Uranium One fronts to try to influence the Clintons, both personally and through the foundation, in order to get a good result on Uranium One, which is what they did get ultimately. But secondly, we also ran into the foundation again in the Clinton email server, because after even that conflict of interest mess we uncovered, we found the Clinton email system. And on that system also was Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's top aide, former foundation official. In fact, later in the State Department, later in the tenure of Hillary Clinton's State Department, Huma Abedin worked at the State Department as a special government employee and at the Clinton Foundation. How's that for a conflict of interest? But we found that almost immediately, as a result of uncovering the Clinton email system and the documents in them, that the Clinton Foundation was seeking favors on behalf of its donors. And they were getting them. Some of these donors were foreign heads of state, shady foreign businessmen, and others. Others needed help with criminals getting visas, so the criminals from abroad getting visas. I mean, it was a real racket that was being run with the State Department and the Clinton Foundation. And as I've said before, and I think I testified to yesterday, it was hard to tell where the Clinton State Department began and the Clinton Foundation ended. It was a seamless web. And it was Judicial Watch that exposed all this. And that led to the pressure for an FBI Justice Department investigation that began around 2015, 2016. And what happened was the Justice Department, the politicals at the Justice Department, the Obama administration tried to shut down what was a basic FBI investigation into what the Clinton Foundation was up to. And they were successful because obviously nothing's been done. And since then, nothing's been done. The Justice Department, when it comes to the Clinton corruption issues, has been frozen under the Trump administration by Jeff Sessions, who didn't want to do anything. And obviously nothing's happened since Jeff Sessions has been in office, since Jeff Sessions has been removed from office. So that's basically my testimony yesterday. I gave 17 pages of written testimony, more than 17 pages, and we'll probably get a link for you here. So that's on the record. And what's remarkable is that this hearing, after years and years, was the first hearing on the Clinton Foundation that I recall. Maybe you remember one. I don't know of them. They talked about Uranium-1, miracle of miracles. Billions of dollars from Russia going into the Clinton Foundation, the personal coffers of Hillary Clinton while she's Secretary of State. Talk about a Russia collusion scandal. Where's the Justice Department on that? Also to testify, supposedly, was U.S. Attorney Mr. Huber, the famous Mr. Huber, the elusive Mr. Huber from Utah. He didn't show up. So that tells you what's happening at the Justice Department level. So of course it's Judicial Watch that's there on your behalf and on behalf of the American people to tell Congress they need to investigate this. And I know the Democrats are going to take control of the House, so the likelihood of investigations really small now. So Judicial Watch is going to be doing all the work here. And on top of that, we have the issue of on top of that, we had two more whistleblowers. They filed a complaint under the whistleblower statute related to the IRS against the Clinton Foundation, and they testified. And they testified that there were two individuals in the Clinton Foundation, one who they disclosed, I guess the former CFO or COO of the Clinton Foundation, who had concerns about the way it was being run, and someone else whose name they refused to divulge. They also had concerns that there was a Foreign Agent Registration Act issue for the Clinton Foundation. Isn't that interesting? Because that ties into Michael Flynn, General Flynn, who's been prosecuted under that law. Manafort has been prosecuted under that law. You know, but no one associated with the Clinton world's been prosecuted under that law. Isn't that curious?